Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be reading all the pink books on my physical TBR. If you're new here, hi, my name is Chantal. I do this thing that I call like the color challenge, where I challenge myself to only read books of a specific color for 2 to 3 weeks, or until all the books are off my physical TBR, depending on how many I have of them, to get through my TBR a little bit faster and not be stuck to a specific genre while filming a video. And for today's video we're going to be doing pink because I do have quite a few pink books on my physical TBR, and I have a few rules for this challenge, and they're very simple. First rule is that I'm not allowed to buy new books, obviously, because I'm trying to lower my physical TBR. I'm also currently in a book buying ban, so that wouldn't really work anyway. I'm not allowed to reread books that are pink because, like I said, I'm trying to get through my physical TBR. The one main rule I have that might be a bit confusing is that I allow myself to read the first book in a series if it's not pink, if the second book, like the sequel, is pink, so I can get the sequel of my physical TBR. But I do have to read both of them in a row. And the last rule is that they have to be at least 50% of the desired color, which in this case is pink. So I will take you guys over with me to my physical TBR so I can show you the pink books that I have, or at least a few of them, and then I'll tell you what I will be reading first. Hey, this is the TBR section. I do have a few special editions on my physical, like on my bookshelf, but I don't think any of them are pink. So we'll just start here. Yeah, so obviously we have Red, White, Royal Blue, which is very pink. We have this one, Of Course Rises, which is, I think, the sequel to another book that I have. I can't see it right now. But yeah, so that one is pink. Those are 2 options already on my TBR pile. These are all the books I don't fit on my TBR card. And my goal with my book buying ban is to make sure that I have enough space for all of these books on my TBR card. And here we have The School for Good Mothers, which is an option. Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood. I think Thou A for Aunties. Yeah, Thou A for Aunties is definitely pink. We have this book, which is a bit pink bluish, so I don't know if I will count it unless I'm out of options. Then let's go over to the other side, because here we have some more pink books. I have a lot of books on my physical TBR. We have Mr. Fixer-Upper, we have Heart to Heart, which was sent to me by the author and I still haven't read it yet. We have One Last Stop, and we have Bunny, and then I think this one's all kind of pink, but it's more purple pink. So yeah, I do have quite a few options. I think those are all the pink books that I have on my physical TBR. But like I said, I do have a few options, so I think I will try to do this for at least like 2 to 3, like at least 3 weeks, because I don't think there's any way I will be able to finish all of these books, depending on how fast I read. So the first book I'm going to be reading for this challenge is Red, White, Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. And a lot of people have been begging me, like my girlfriend has been begging me to read this book for years. I have the special edition here, but I ended up buying this copy from Vinted because I like to read a lot on my computer work and I don't want to bring special editions with me. So yeah, we're going to be reading Red, White, Royal Blue as the first pink book for this video. I'm very excited. I hope that my expectations for this book will actually live up to how good it is. I'm very scared. Okay, so I'm almost like 200 pages into Red, White, Royal Blue, and I can definitely see why people call it like more of like fan fiction vibes. It's very fanfic-y. I am enjoying it so far. It's a bit silly. It's like, it's fine. It's nothing like special. I can understand the hype because it has like everything a lot of people love. But I don't really think it's anything special. I do really like most of the characters in the book, so that definitely helps. I'll definitely finish it because obviously I am quite enjoying it. It just, I think because so many people were like hyping it really up for me, like telling me that I really had to read it, it's kind of like, it's fun, but it's nothing special. So yeah, I did kind of die of secondhand embarrassment though when they fell into the wedding cake. Like, what the hell was that? Why? Okay, so I finally finished reading Red, White, Royal Blue. I will admit that this book took me a little while to get into. I felt like the first few pages, like the first few chapters were very slow, and I did think that this book was a little bit fake for what it was. But I can see why a lot of people really adore this book. It was very cute. It wasn't very like feel good, but also dealt with like some like heavier topics and some things that aren't regularly talked about as much. So I did enjoy that. I also enjoyed most of the characters, although sometimes I did think that they were a little bit over the top. And that might just be me personally, who feels like, I don't know, some of the characters to me were just a little bit much. Like I said, I did really enjoy it, but it's not a genre I read that often. I really need to be in the mood for it. And that's why it took me a little while to get into as well, I think. But I did flee to like the last like 150 to 200 pages. And I did end up rating it 4 stars. I definitely did not hate it. But I would definitely not reread it. This is the second book I read by Casey McQuiston though, and this one was definitely better than the other one that I read. So that's definitely good. Like I said, I did enjoy it. It wasn't bad at all. It was very fun. It was cute. It was great. It just was a bit boring in my opinion, but that's just because I usually read other genres or genres that have a little bit more going on than just like romance and drama within that romance. But I did like that it wasn't like extreme like third act breakups and a lot of relationship problems like that. Made this book a lot better for me. So like it wasn't bad. It just isn't like my usual genre that I read. But I'm happy I finally read it. So now I can watch movies. So I'm excited about that. Even though that's not the kind of movie I watch either. I usually just watch horror movies or action movies. But yeah, 4 stars. Not bad. I already started the next pink book for this challenge. And I decided to go with a different genre because I really needed it. Like I needed to switch it up. And I'm reading Bunny by Mona Awad. I'm already, how many pages? Like 26 pages in. So not that much. It sounds like so much. But I started reading it this morning and so far I'm really enjoying it. It just says Samantha Heather McKay is an outsider in a small, highly selective MFA program at Warren University. In fact, she is utterly repelled by the rest of our fiction writing cohort. A clique of unbearable, twee rich girls who call each other Bunny. But then the Bunnies issue her a wedding invitation and Samantha finds herself inexplicably drawn to the front door across the threshold and down the rabbit hole. Blinding sharp satire with fairy tale horror, Bunny is a spellbound tripping over from one of the fiction's most original voices. I'm already loving this so far, like Samantha's so fun. And I love the way this author writes already, like her writing style is really cool. So I'm very curious to see where this book is going to go. I feel like I haven't really gotten like that much into it, so just got her invitation. So I feel like this book will pick up really fast and I'm very excited about that. So this is the second book I'm reading. It took me a little longer to read Red, Red, Royal Blue, but I hope I can at least knock like 2 more books out in this challenge. Maybe 3, we'll see. I also ordered a Kindle by the way, like, I'm excited. I just finished part 1 of the Bunny book and this is honestly so weird. I don't even really know what to think about it. This is going to be a mini spoiler, so you're just warned, but why are they using bunnies and using bunnies to create men out of magic? I am very confused and very intrigued at the same time. This is very weird. I don't really know what to think about it. I'm kind of lost. But I'm enjoying it somehow, somewhat, I think, I guess. Help me, I'm confused. Okay, so I finished reading Bunny by Mona Awad. And I will say that the first part 1 and the first half of part 2 were really fun. It was really interesting and I was actually very curious to find out what was going to happen to the main character whose name is Samantha. I was very curious about that. But then the other half, I was just confused and I couldn't really follow along with the storyline. I couldn't really understand what was happening, which was very confusing. It's mainly about Samantha who feels like an outsider in like her university program because she's like in this writing program. And then they have something called workshop where they have to like read out loud part of the stories and then they get feedback from the other students and from the teachers and stuff like that. And the other 5 girls in our class are like this big tight-knitted group, almost like college, and they call each other Bunny. That's why the book is called Bunny. And then one day Samantha gets like an invite to join them in their like, I think they call it like smut night or something. Or smut cafe, I think it was. And as he goes there, and things kind of just go downhill from there. So he gets pulled into like this weird cult-ish. and the things this cult does is just very weird. Yeah, I couldn't really follow along with the storyline as much as I wanted to in the second half of the book. I was just very confused for most of the time, and I didn't really feel that invested in it. I had already kind of figured out the big plot twist, or like the big secret in this book, so that was kind of disappointing. And I feel like you never really get like a nice ending, and you're left with a lot of questions. So this definitely was not for me, sadly enough. I really wanted to like it, but I ended up rating it 2 stars. So that's a bit of a disappointment, but it happens sometimes. And then the next pink book I'm picking up, and probably the last book of this video, because I've already been recording this for a long time, is Mr. Fixer-Upper by Lisa Score. I've never read a Lisa Score book, so I'm very excited about that. It's about this, I will just read the synopsis. It's a battle on set between sexy home renovation reality star Gannon, and his non-nonsense producer Paige. Paige is zero time for temperamental talent, especially one who acts like being in front of the camera as his worst nightmare. Mr. Sex in a tool belt is on a mission to get a rise out of her, but Paige is a master at locking down her temper. She can't be caught sleeping with the star of a show, but she also can't resist those big rough hands, those dimples, that tool belt. It just sounds hilarious to me. Okay, I'm not straight, so this is just funny. I'm very curious if I'm gonna read the Lisa Score book. I don't know if this is a good one to start with, but it's pink. Okay, so I'm very split on this book right now. I'm halfway through it, I think. In the beginning I really liked it, but now I'm just like, I don't even know, to be honest. I don't really like the characters. Like, what's his name again? I'm the worst with names. Gannon. I want to say Gavin. Gannon. I just don't like him. I don't really like Paige either. I find the reality TV interesting. Like, that aspect is interesting. But so far, I'm just like very split on it. Gannon, I don't know. He just makes some comments and he's very possessive. And sometimes like that, but in him it just gives me weird vibes. I don't know. And I don't know how they're gonna drag this out for another, like, more than 100 pages. Help me. I don't know. I flew through the first, like, 100 pages of this book, and I'm just kind of like, I'm on page 194. But I do want to finish it before I leave, and I leave in 1 day. So, wish me luck. Okay, I finished Mr. Fixer-Upper, and I will have to say this book was not it for me. I ended up rating it 2 stars, which is just rather dramatic, because that's the second 2-star book in this entire video, and that just sucks massively. I did not like the way these characters behaved while they were in a relationship together. I did not like the ending. I did not like Paige that much, and Gannon gave, like, the main male interest, gave me the creeps. Like, he was just constantly dragging her places and forcing her to listen and, like, manhandling her into, like, kind of loving it, and it was just really weird and really uncomfortable, and I didn't like it. 2 stars. So yeah, I rated 3 books. This video was a bit of a fail, really. Like, I had 1 decent read, and that was Red, White, White, Blue. But yeah, 3 books and 2 were 2 stars. That's not good. But yeah, that was all for this video. I don't think I'll be reading any more pink books right now. Kind of over them, really. But at least I got to take 3 off my TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video more than I enjoyed these books. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.